Most people think exhaustion is a volume problem. Too much work, too many hours, too much on the calendar. But there's a quieter kind of tired, one that has almost nothing to do with how hard your day looked on paper. And it's the kind that most thoughtful, capable people are actually living with when they don't need to be. Here's the idea this video is built around. Exhaustion isn't only about what you did. It's about the total load your system is carrying, both visible and invisible. And for a lot of people, the invisible part is doing most of the damage. So in the next few minutes, we're going to walk through what this kind of exhaustion actually is, where it really comes from, why rest sometimes fails to fix it, and what to do instead without any push harder energy, because that's usually the opposite of what you need. So what kind of exhaustion are we actually talking about? Let's define this clearly because the word tired is doing a lot of work. We're not talking about the good kind of tired, kind you feel after a long hike, a full day with people you love, or work that you're proud of. We're talking about the flat kind, the kind where you wake up feeling already behind, where focus feels expensive, where nothing's technically wrong, but nothing feels easy either. That's not normal tired, that's depletion. And depletion has its own rules. So why can you feel exhausted without doing much? Because effort isn't only physical and it isn't only visible. Your body doesn't care whether your day looked impressive from the outside. It only tracks the total load on your system. That load includes the physical work, sure, but it also includes stress that you didn't name, decisions you didn't notice you were making, emotions that you held in, notifications you absorbed, conversations you replayed, environments you adapted to. All of that burns energy quietly and continuously without producing anything that you could point to at the end of the day. So you could be physically inactive and still be cognitively and emotionally overloaded. You could be undermoving and overfiring at the same time. That's not a contradiction. That's the actual shape of modern exhaustion. So what are the hidden drains that most people miss? Well, a few that are worth naming out loud are fragmented sleep. You were in bed 8 hours, but your sleep wasn't continuous, it wasn't deep, or wasn't well timed. Sleep quantity matters, sure, but sleep quality and nervous system state matter just as much. Chronic low-grade stress, not a crisis, not a breakdown, just a steady hum of slightly on alert that never quite resolves. That hum is metabolically expensive. Emotional load, worry about someone you love, unspoken tension, grief you haven't given yourself permission to feel. Your body doesn't file those away neatly, it carries them. Decision fatigue, every small choice, what to answer, what to defer, what to wear, what to order, what to say back, draws from the same account. Constant stimulation, screens, input, pings, tabs, ambient noise. Your nervous system treats all of it as information that needs processing. Incomplete recovery. Scrolling isn't recovery. Collapsing on the couch isn't recovery. They're distraction. Real recovery is a physiological event, not just the absence of activity. Any one of these on its own is manageable. Stacked, running in the background day after day, they're the quiet reason that you're tired. So why doesn't rest always fix it? Well, because a lot of what we call rest isn't actually restorative. Here's the distinction that actually matters. Your body has two modes: simplified, activated, and recovering. That's it. You're either activated or you're recovering. So to come down from activation, your nervous system needs a real signal: slower breathing, lower light, reduced input, safety, illness. Scrolling your phone on the couch doesn't give your body that signal. Your mind is still processing. Eyes are still working. The stress physiology is still up. That's why you can rest all weekend and still feel vaguely tired on Monday. You weren't recovering, you were just not producing. Those are very different states. Real recovery is the body downregulating, the gear shift from overdrive back to baseline. Without that gear shift, rest is just paused activation, and paused activation doesn't refill the tank. So what does this look like in everyday life? It looks ordinary. That's part of why it's missed. It looks like feeling wired and tired at the same time. It looks like being too drained to start, too activated to sleep. It looks like finishing a day you can't really describe and still feeling wrung out by it. It looks like a weekend that didn't land, a vacation that didn't stick, a nap that made you groggier. It looks like thinking you need more discipline when what you actually need is more downregulation. And it often looks like a very capable person quietly assuming they're the problem when really their system has adapted to depletion as if it were normal. It's not normal, it's just common. So here's what to do next. None of what follows is dramatic, and that's on purpose. The foundations are boring for a reason. They flat out work. Number one, stabilize your sleep timing first. Consistent wake up time, then consistent wind down. Your nervous system craves rhythm more than it craves perfection. Two, create a real wind down period. Not a rule, a runway. 15 to 60 minutes of lower light, lower input, slower pace. You're telling your body it's safe to come down. Number three, reduce late night stimulation. Not because screens are evil, because late activation delays the physiological gear shift you're trying to get back. Four, notice the hidden friction. Where in your day are you quietly on alert? That's where the invisible cost is hiding. Awareness alone starts to lower it. Five, treat recovery as a real activity, not doing nothing, not a reward for earning it, a legitimate input, as real as a workout, a meal, or a meeting. Six, downregulate on purpose. Slow exhale, long walk without a podcast, a few minutes with no input at all. Small, repeatable signals to your nervous system that the threat, whatever it was, is over. Seven, think in terms of baseline restoration, not performance theater. The goal isn't to become an elite optimizer. It's to come back to human baseline. From there, most things are easier on their own. One quick note, because it matters. If your fatigue is severe, sudden, or persistent no matter what you do, that's worth bringing in a clinician. This kind of exhaustion can have medical roots and deserve a real look. This video is about the kind of depletion lifestyle actually drives, which is most of it for most people, most of the time. So I want you to leave with. You could be exhausted even when you're not working that hard because exhaustion isn't about visible effort. It's about total load. A lot of people confuse that kind of tired with a character flaw. It isn't. It's a recovery problem, and recovery problems respond to recovery, not to willpower. You don't need more motivation. You probably need more regulation. You don't need to push harder. You need your baseline back. And the body, when it's actually given the signals, is surprisingly good at finding its way there.